So we're still talking about the state of the markets, and of course on Monday the Securities and Exchange Commission announced plans to relocate the Inspectorate division from its head office in Abuja to its Lagos zonal office, and among other things it was to ensure efficiency of the capital market. Well, joining me on the program to talk a little bit more about this decision by the Securities and Exchange Commission is the Head of Operations Directorate for the Commission's Lagos Zonal Office, Olubukola Rufai. Mrs. Rufai, good morning to you and thank you for joining me on the program.
Good morning, Harriet. Good to see you.
So, it's a very good step, and I remember that Bosun had conversation with the Director General earlier this year, sometime last week, and he talked about relocating these offices. But why was this decision taken at this time?
Thank you, Harriet. The decision to relocate the Inspectorate and Registration divisions to the Lagos Zonal Office was because the Commission realized the need to improve on its efficiency in dealing with market operators. Precisely, we realized that at least 90% of market operators are based in Lagos, and it's better to move those two divisions who have functions that relate directly with the market to Lagos. So, for instance, we have just taken a decision, the management of SEC has just taken a decision to begin implementation of the risk-based provisions framework, which will entail us doing more on-site inspections to the offices of these capital market operators. And then we realized that we'll be more effective in carrying that out because it's going to be more cost-effective. We don't have to send staff from Abuja to Lagos every now and then. And then even for operators who want to come and have conversations with us after we have inspected them and given them their reports, it's going to be cheaper for them to meet with the inspectors in the Lagos Zonal Office. Generally, the risk-based supervision framework is a broader framework than the rule-based framework which we have been using. It's a dynamic system of regulation that focuses on identification of risks, measurement of those risks, and mitigating against them in order to prevent a systemic risk in the capital market. So it's something which the Commission holds very importantly, and then it's something which is also recommended by the IOSCO, the International Organization of Securities Commissions, especially in the regulation of financial market intermediaries. So the Commission has decided to commence the risk-based supervision framework from now. And so it's better for us to have our inspectors, the Inspectorate Division, based here in Lagos in order to make it easy for us to effect it.
All right, so you talked about, the risk-based supervision is to have more on-site investigations of those capital market operators and to deal with them. What part of it is automated? Because it seems as if we're still doing a kind of manual supervision instead of automating the process.
Right. There are two things involved in the risk-based supervision. So we still have the supervision, which is the off-site review of returns from these market operators, their quarterly returns. So that has been automated. They file their quarterly returns electronically to the Commission. And so we still will sit back in the office to review all those. But in addition to the off-site review, we will now do more on-site reviews in order to gain more knowledge of the business of these operators, identify the key business areas, and then identify the risks associated with those key business areas. The reason is that we don't want to have a systemic risk. We don't want something to happen in any outfit that can affect the overall image of the market. And then we will also look at systemically important financial institutions, the non-bank, especially the non-bank and non-insurance companies. Those are the ones that we regulate, the capital market operators. We want to see the impact of the businesses of each one of those systemically important financial institutions on the entire financial system, not just the capital market. So we will be relating more with other financial market regulators as well as these self-regulatory organizations in the capital market in order to just ensure that things are running properly. We want to look at the size of the entities. We want to look at their interrelatedness, interconnectedness with one another. We want to see those which have global presence. What's going to be the impact of having relationships with foreign entities, whether it's positive or negative. We want to see if there's any of the operators whose function is so significant that it may not be easy to substitute. So we'll focus more on those high-risk entities, let me put them that way. They're important to us, but we have to focus more on ensuring their survival and monitoring their progress. So we'll look at their own risk management plans, and then we'll also look at we will assess whether it's realistic, and also monitor the implementation of these risk management plans. And the good thing about risk-based supervision is it's a very dynamic system. So we don't have a fixed way of doing things. From time to time, we'll stop to review our framework to adapt it to the trends in the market.
So has any review been done prior to now? What's the status of this financial institutions that fall under the category of systemically important?
Right. We have identified a few of them which are large in size, and in terms of complexity of the operations, some of them have a group structure, for instance, so more like financial conglomerates, if you want to put it that way. We have identified a few of them, but we will now begin to implement the framework from now.
Okay. So also, in terms of reorganizing for efficiency, the Commission has decided to merge the Fund and Inspectorate Management divisions to improve the Commission's operations. Why?
Right. The Commission took a decision to merge the Fund Management division, which was initially resident in the Investment Management Department, with the Inspectorate division, which was resident with the Monitoring Department, because they essentially do the same thing, except that the Fund Management division focused only on fund managers, whereas the Inspectorate division focused on all of them. But what we realized is it's better to put them together so that when we're doing a review, we'll do a holistic review at the same time. So if we pick an entity, we look at all the subsidiaries, whether they're doing fund management or stockbroking or issuing house. We'll look at all of them together. So we will determine the composite risk rating of that entity all at once, rather than allow one to work in silo and then look at another aspect of the business. So it's going to be a more holistic way of reviewing the entities, the capital market operators who we have registered. So that's why those two divisions were merged. It's just to bring about efficiency and to bring about more assessment of them as a whole and as whole entities, rather than...
And there's no duplicity of roles.
There would have been if we didn't merge them. So merging those two divisions will avoid duplicity of roles, because, for instance, a team could be constituted to look at one entity that has subsidiaries that are into fund management, into stockbroking, into trusteeship and things like that. So that team can tell the story of the group of companies, and then can determine what the risk of one subsidiary can be to the group, rather than looking at them in isolation. So I think it's a more efficient way of regulation. The Commission also moved the registration division to the Lagos Zonal Office. Registration is the hallmark of regulation. So it is the first port of call of anyone who wants to come and work or have a relationship with us in the capital market. So because it is compulsory for all capital market operators to be registered with the Commission, along with their sponsored individuals, we receive a lot of applications. And then we think it's more efficient to bring ourselves closer to the people. In any case, like we said, more than 90% of them are based in Lagos. So we think it's more efficient for us to bring ourselves closer to the people who will be regulating or registering, as well as it brings about cost reduction even on the part of the people. They don't have to send by courier their applications to Abuja every now and then. They don't have to go to Abuja each time they have to have physical discussions with us. And even for what we call the registration committee meeting, which is an interview, it is going to be cheaper for them because they don't have to go to Abuja to attend the registration committee meeting. So we're looking at ourselves, we're looking at the market. So whatever decisions that we have taken, both the movement of inspectorate divisions and registration divisions to Lagos, are in the interest of the entire capital market.
So it's more of a dynamic and more efficient Securities and Exchange Commission and the capital market for 2017.
Certainly.
All right. Olubukola Rufai, Head of Operations Directorate at the Securities and Exchange Commission, Lagos Zonal Office. Thank you so much for coming on the program and shedding more light on these issues.
Thank you, Harriet. It's nice to be with you.
Business Morning continues after now. Stay with us.